So we book 170, 180 calls month over month. In today's video, I want to share with you how we're doing it for clients and the 3-step formula on what it takes to actually book qualified sales calls into your calendar month over month. Now, if you don't know me already, my name is Jake, founder of Adstra. We help SaaS and service companies book hundreds of demos, hundreds of sales calls month over month using this 3-step formula. Now, just want to be clear, if you have been struggling to book calls, if you have been struggling to get people on the calendar, to be interested in your offer, to find you, to see you, all those things, this video is what you need. Keep in mind that it's not easy, but the process is very simple, and I'll be breaking it down step by step. Okay, now without further ado, let's start with number 1. Okay. So number 1 is you need to first get attention, right? Attention is the number 1 currency in today's day and age, okay? If you don't have attention, you don't have anything. You don't have a business, right? Attention is the currency. You are battling with Joe Rogan. You are battling with Kill Tony, with comedians. You are battling with everything that you're seeing on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. All that clickbait stuff, the Mr. Beasts of the world, right? You are competing with that. The question is, how do you hijack attention? How do you get attention so that you can be known? Well, like I said, it's not easy, but the process is simple. Number 1 is you have to show up. So how I recommend showing up, the best two-step method to doing it is paid ads and content, just like I'm doing now, okay? Reason being is because paid ads, usually the first touch, usually the first time somebody discovers you, and then content is the best way to nurture and mechanize continued attention. You may be trying cold email, you may be trying cold calling, you may be trying PR, you may be trying these things. Fact of the matter is, it's just getting harder, right? And PR doesn't ever drive anything, it's just traffic. You don't get attention, you just get traffic. You get eyeballs, but they never really convert. For cold outreach, look, if you pick up the phone and dial 200 dials a day, you're gonna get leads, you're gonna get booked calls, it's gonna work. But does it make sense to hire 20 BDRs to do it? Probably not, right? And so first and foremost, you have to get attention, and you usually have to buy attention, right? You usually have to go into the ad platform and buy it. That's my best recommendation. Now, when you buy it, you're gonna all they guarantee you is traffic. They don't guarantee you anything else. I had a business owner one time, he was like, well, what's gonna happen if we don't get any sales, don't get any leads? Does Facebook reimburse you? Hell no. Right? No, absolutely not. You have to write something powerful. You have to showcase value, and you have to let them know what's in it for them. Okay. And so if you want to learn how to write copy and build a creative and do all that stuff in order to actually capture attention for when you buy traffic, link in the description, you can get a free report, but I will talk about it here in a second. The free report has everything. It has AI bots, GPT to help you write the copy and all that stuff. But number 1 is 2 things, okay? Pattern interrupt and pattern match, okay? So pattern interrupt is something that is different from what they see in today's day and age. And the way that you can find pattern interrupts, the way that you can hijack attention is just look at what gets clicked on YouTube. Look at what's getting clicked on Facebook, okay? For example, Facebook is going to be all news-oriented stuff. Breaking news, warning, did you know this, did you know that? FOMO, curiosity, okay? That pattern interrupt is always going to induce some sort of form of curiosity, which is critical point number 1. If you want to capture attention on an interruption-based platform like Facebook, like Instagram, like TikTok, etc., you need to have a pattern interrupt, okay? That's number 1. Number 2 on that is a pattern match. So is this for me, right? Pattern match, it could be symbols, right? If you're working with business owners, you can use symbols like Stripe logos, Google Ads, Meta Ads logos, CRM logos, HubSpot, Salesforce. If we look at any of our ads that we're running on the Meta Ad platform, you can see I'm using a lot of pattern match stuff. The Gmail logo for people who are doing cold emailing, right? CRMs, dialers, and stuff like that for people who are doing cold calling, right? So it's what does their day look like, and how can I match that pattern and then also interrupt it with something crazy, okay? And so copy nowadays you have to be visceral. And this is not a video on how to write copy. So if you want to know how to write copy, just free report in the description. The GPT bot will help you write the copy. Okay. But those are really two important points. Also understand that you probably have half a second to capture their attention. So bright colors, right? Contrast in the creative, contrast and pattern match and pattern interrupt, and something crazy in the lead in. Okay. So I know our lead in, I haven't changed in like maybe 8 months, is filling your sales team's calendar is like crawling on broken glass, right? Because it is, you know what I mean? But when you elaborate so much into the specificity, and you make a problem even more of a problem, like crawling on broken glass, pulling your eyelashes out, putting your head through a wall, right? All these things make you feel so much more agitated on your problem that you have, okay? And that's why our ads get clicked, and that's why our ads work, and that's why our clients' ads work too, right? So understand that whatever the problem that you have that you solve, make it really terrible, right? Make it really terrible, and make it specific too, right? Don't just make it kind of like, are you struggling with this? Are you struggling with that? No, is it like, do you feel like is it keeping you up at night, not knowing where your next lead, next booked call, next sale is coming from? People who have that problem now are going to click that ad, and they're probably going to be more likely to book the call. Okay. Next point on this that I also want to mention is that on your first touch, you cannot treat everybody that sees the ad, sees the piece of content, sees the cold email, sees the cold outreach, whatever, as they're ready to go now. Okay, I know I spoke about this in a lot of different videos, but you need to have something for free. Like I have the free report. I always recommend some sort of free report where it's a solution to a micro problem, okay? And the reason being is because you have the problem solution cycle. Once you have something that solves that problem, you're gonna have another one. So if you download the free report in the description, what you will find is once you know how to write copy, you have to learn how to run the ads. You have to learn how to continuously scale and monetize those ads, right? And so a lot of our best customers did everything that I said in my YouTubes, in my free stuff, and they're running ads and they're making money, but they don't know how to scale. And then that's where we come in. So I always say, give away the sauce and sell the spoon, okay? Give away the thing, sell the implementation of it, okay? This works for anyone, everyone. Freebie, lead magnet, it works for everyone. And this is the best way to capture leads, capture attention, build trust. Do not just go straight for the right hook to book a call. Provide value first on the onset, and then when that problem is solved, done correctly, they will be coming to you saying, hey, I need you to help me. Okay, so let's just recap. Number one, capturing attention, pattern match, pattern interrupt, giving away free value, selling, giving away the sauce and selling the spoon. Keep this in mind, okay? I have other videos on this page about the free report, about how to write good copy, all these things, okay? So please watch those videos if you want to go do that, or download the free report, totally cool, okay? But let's move on to step number two. Step number two is, not everybody that downloads the thing or checks you out or sees you or is a view or an impression or website visit is going to book and buy now. That's okay. You can't control it. I made a video, I think, a week ago on you can't control the buyer journey, but what you can do is you can show up for them, okay? Russell Brunson has this really good ideology around like you should be emailing your list at least 3 times a week, okay? And I think he emails his list every day, a little too much, but you should be emailing your list often. You should be texting your list often. You should be giving them phone calls, right? Because when they have that proclivity to want to go ahead and take the next step to book the call to solve their problem, first, they need to find value in that 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour that they're gonna have on the phone with you, okay? So it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take more value. So my best recommendation, and I'll just walk through what we do, because what we do works really well. When a lead comes in, we text them, but we don't just say, hey, book a call now, right? We say, hey, thanks for grabbing the free thing. Let me know, what are you working on right now? Why reach out? Why look at the free thing? I'm here for the next few moments. And in Go High Level, by the way, if you need our CRM, there's also a link to grab our CRM, Or if you want this installed for you, there's a $27 training in the description, and it already has this workflow built out. But the workflows are very simple. Number one is lead comes in, downloads free report, text message, okay? And that text message is a question, because in Go High Level, they answer the question, AI bot triggers a conversation and then replies to the lead enough to then book the call. 2 or 3 questions, ask them if they'd like to book a call, say, okay, cool, book here, done, which is really cool, okay? On top of that, the $27 training also has the email sequence in Go High Level for you, which I believe the best email sequence is a welcome series, a deadline series, and then a nurture. So the welcome series is 5 to 8 emails every 2 days or so. The first one is you deliver the free thing. If they don't open it, send it to them again. If they don't open it again, send it to them again. If they don't open it again, send it to them again. If they don't open those, remove them from the list. Just get them off the list because they're not going to open anything. And it happens sometimes. So just remove them from the list. Just keep in mind that people that download the free thing, that opt in, 50% will not open the email. Okay, so that's why you want to resend it, use a different subject line, try to get them to actually open it, click it, read it. And that first email is very important because that's going to be the one that most people open. So use that opportunity to say, hey, here's the free thing you got. And by the way, here's what you're going to see from me over the next week or 2. We hate this. We don't agree with this. This is what we're all about. Make an enemy and pick a side in that email. And then that's how you indoctrinate and build a fan base of dream customers, okay? And then email 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From there is handling objections, providing more value. Say, hey, you may not believe in ads. Here's how we're running ads, and here's how it actually works to book calls. Boom. Here's how we do our research, our go-to-market plan, so that we actually write copy that really works, right? So if you download the free report, you will see all my emails. And it's strategically engineered to handle objections and bring them closer and closer. If you think of on a continuum where you have somebody who doesn't know who you are and they download the free report, they're closer. But buying is all the way over here. So marketing has to get them as close as possible because sales call is about here, and then the sales call, you got to get them to close, okay? And so you don't just send emails. You don't say, hey, book now, book now, book now. In fact, I actually don't ask anybody to book a call until like the 3rd or 4th email, right? Because they're not ready. I'm giving them more information on what they're looking for, okay? And then of course I send them back to the VSL. But the point of the email, the point of the SMS, the point of all this stuff, right, is really to engineer engagement, okay? Because the engineering of engagement is required in order to book calls. People just think, oh, I got all these leads, they're ready to go. No, you gotta call them, you gotta text them, you gotta email them, you gotta be in the inbox, you gotta be ready for when they're ready. You don't get to choose when they're ready. So, important point there, you need to be there for them, ready, so that when they are ready, you are ready too, okay? So keep in mind, it doesn't end there. A lot of folks would be better off if they focus less on their ads, less on their content, less on all those things, and more so on the post-click journey, the emails, the remarketing, the retargeting ads, the SMS, all these things, okay? Very, very, very important. Now, the third point I want to make, really, if you do the first, which is pattern match, pattern interrupt, getting attention, showing up in front of your audience, giving them something for free, they're becoming leads. The next part, you do the next part, which is post-click journey, making sure you're in their inbox, you have automation set up, you have all those things. Now, the third point that I want to mention is that you don't want the sales call to just be a sales call. Fact of the matter is, 30% of leads that are qualified that get on the call will close. You have 70% of people that aren't. So keep in mind that they're going to have an opinion of you, okay? So what I like to have here is congruence, okay? Congruence throughout, from the ad or the piece of content to the emails and the text messages and the setter calling them, and then to the sales call, and then even to CS. Everything that is said has to be said throughout. You don't want the prospect to repeat themselves. You don't want them to be, this is a little bit different, right? Because if the ad says something and then the landing page says something different, then they're going to bounce. Same way that if the ad says the same thing that the landing page says, but then the setter says something different, they're not going to book the call. So if you're already booking calls and you already have the follow-up and you're like, well, Jake, I'm still not booking calls, go through your journey as yourself, right? And smooth out that process. Understand that everything has to be the same thing. Reuse the headline, reuse the same hook, reuse the same pain points. Don't talk about all this crazy different stuff. People will buy and they opt in for usually one reason, one pain point, one desire. Use that same one throughout. Once you find an ad that's talking about one pain point or one desire that's working, one piece of content that's working, use it throughout, okay? And so my third point really is you have to pull yourself out of the problem and look at the entire thing as it relates to congruence and your person. The best way to do this is just to go through your funnel yourself. Would you book a call with you? Probably not, right? I mean, do you book calls with people? When you do book calls, why? Is there something that you're going to get from the call? Something that there's a promise there that is going to be fulfilled? When you do get on the call, was it a good call, right? Because the best sales call is good for everybody, whether they buy or not. It's a demonstration of you as a company that in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's gonna pay dividends. Important point is that 99% of people that see you, that learn about you, that are an impression, that are a visitor, what have you, are not gonna buy. And that's okay. What will happen is they will all have an opinion of you. And more so now than ever before, I'm more particular on how we are demonstrated as a brand, as our reputation, and why I'm doing these YouTubes and why I'm being very front facing is because I know that in 2, 3 years, there is an effect of brand equity. It can also go against you too. If you shove people aside and you are disrespectful to people in any part of your marketing funnel, that will culminate and remunerate in a negative way. Meaning there's such thing as negative brand equity too. The reason why the free report, the free thing is always impactful is because people that download that, most of them will not buy, but they will have an opinion. And if you solve their problem and they did it themselves and they were successful, that's good. Just because you didn't get them to buy doesn't mean it's bad, because if they're asked of you, they're gonna have good things to say about you. Understand that every one person probably knows around 500 people. So you can't just look at one person as one person. You have to look at one person as 500 people, possibly, okay? So understand that this is true for even the worst of leads. I've had people come in and tell me to F off. I've had people come in and say, please unsubscribe me. This is terrible. I hate this, right? I mean, I wouldn't be in marketing if I didn't have like 2 or 3 people every day tell me to F off, right? So just understand that like when you are doing this, and this is something in particular because I did have a prospect say, hey, look, I'm not looking for lead generation. I'm looking for brand awareness. And it's like, why can't you have both? Why can't you just follow up in a manner that is polite and gentle and good reminders? Because people that don't tell you stop or don't tell you to stop, responding, or they don't unsubscribe, they're still there for a reason, right? They're still reading your emails for a reason. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to follow up, especially if it's incumbent upon them to solve their problem, okay? So I know I kind of went everywhere on that third point there, but really congruence, because you have to imagine that every single lead, every single booked call, every single sale, at the end of the day, we're just humans and we all want to be treated well. And we're all thinking about ourselves. And so as a marketer, as a business owner, you cannot be thinking about yourself, because you won't make sales. You won't build brand equity. You have to be thinking, what's in it for my prospect? Is it congruent? Am I giving them value? Are they clicking? Is this something that they actually want? Is this going to interrupt their pattern so that they actually give me their attention, right? And so just know that if you love your service, if you think your product should be in everybody's hands who has a problem, then it is incumbent upon you to make sure you do everything in your repertoire and everything in human psychology, all the cognitive biases, the reciprocity, social proof. It's incumbent upon you to use all of these manipulative tactics to get them on a call. It is. Just want to be clear. It is, right? And it may seem slimy, it may seem crazy, it may seem weird, but just understand that you won't be in business unless you do. It's a very important point. You must manipulate people to do the right thing. You believe in your product, people like it, you have good reviews. It's important to understand that you must use manipulation. You must use these tactics to get them on a call with you. Because if you don't, your competitors will eat you alive and you will not have a business. Okay, so final parting point, I just want to mention 99% of people will not be your customer, and that's okay, but they will have an opinion of you. Make sure it's a good one. All right, thanks for watching. If you want more of this content, leave a like, subscribe. If you want something different from me, leave a comment, let me know what different you would like to see, and I'm here to help. As always, I'm Jake, founder of Adstra. Thanks for watching. Cheers.